Alright, so welcome back to my channel, everyone. Welcome back to another video. I don't have my full gear on, so y'all can't see nothing but this black shirt. But I am just leaving an interview, and I had a chance to, I had a chance to meet with the doctor himself, and I'm not even gonna lie, I do not know the person who I was speaking to. I don't know her title. However, I met with her and she seems very nice. I met with a doctor's office, and this is for another position. Of course, you all know, if you've been watching me long enough, that I quit not one but two jobs. The second job, it wasn't for any reason other than I had 3 interviews the following day, and I just knew I would not be able to finagle that, not working in this headquarters that I was in without them noticing. Yeah, so I'm just leaving. I felt like everything went well. It's weird because we did not discuss compensation, and I'm very transparent with compensation, by the way. I'm not one of those people that will try to keep it on the hush hush. Like, who does that help? Where does that in any way try to help a person that's trying to navigate the compensation or try to negotiate? This job is asking for a front desk / patient care coordinator, which is like a scheduler. And the pay range is anywhere from $16 an hour, which is ridiculous, from $16 an hour to $22 an hour. Of course, me, with my experience, my background, and the responsibilities of the role, I am not going in at 16, 17, 18, or 19. I'm going in at 21. That's what I would like to go in as. We did not discuss compensation, though. You know, that's kind of like sticky, not for me, but in the working world, it's kind of sticky slopes to talk about. I only talk about it when they talk about it. Then I ain't got no problem with talking about the compensation, because let's just be honest, like, I'm not doing this for free. The office does feel very homely. It's a nice office, needless to say. Don't know too much about the doctor. I'm sure he's really, really busy. But again, I spoke with him, got a chance to fill him out, and him fill me out as well. And he just really wants somebody that knows how to take over and do the job, because it's a small business. It's just him. And, people got to get paid. So I understand that without giving out too much details. But yeah, guys, so they said that they'll reach out to me if anything. But of course, my biggest things is compensation. I cannot do this. Like, for me, the lowest I'll do is $20 an hour. And that is the lowest. That is the lowest. I'm not going below that. I still got to make a living. Nobody can live off of $16 an hour. Not 18. I don't even believe 19. And 20 is also not really a livable wage. Not here in South Florida. But I'm willing to go in at 20 minimum. But of course, you got to start up. You got to start to the top first. You got to go up and let them work your way down. So, yeah, guys, that's just a quick little update insight. There was another medical center where the doctor actually reached out to me via Indeed, which is where I do all my applications and stuff from. And he tried to call me. He asked me for some times. Okay, what times are you available to talk? I gave him a range on purpose. He's a doctor, so I wanted him to have a wiggle room. So instead of just saying I'm available at 1 or I'm available at 5, I told him, like, hey, I'm available from this time to that time. Anyways, long story short, instead of him asking for, what the heck? Instead of him saying, okay, out of the range that you gave, I'm going to call you at said time, he never wrote back to that. Instead, he just called. And that's not inherently bad. That's not a bad thing. However, you got to be aware that while someone can say that they're available between this time and that time, that doesn't mean that they're going to be stationed in an area where they can talk or is comfortable talking in. So that was my situation. The first time he called, I didn't pick because I was busy. I didn't even get it, to be honest with you. I wasn't even up. So when he called, then I'm like, okay. He left a voicemail and he messaged me back on Indeed and said, hey, let me know whenever you're able to, to talk. And I said, okay, I'm still available from this time to that time. And he called again. And I was literally running downstairs to try to get outside to talk to him. And I missed him by 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. So I eventually called the number back. Isn't that what you guys would do? Call the number back that called you, right? Okay. Just making sure, because this is going to make sense. So I called the number back that called me, because out of 32 years of not being, I'm 32 years old. I wasn't able to work. Out of the 10 to 12 years that I've been working, someone called me. I called them back. There's never been any issues. So I called the number back. A receptionist picked up and I said, hey, can I speak with Dr. So-and-so? I just missed his call. She said, okay, one moment. She reached out to him and she got back on the line and said, oh, he's busy. I found that very odd, because I'm like, I just called you back. You cannot be busy in 4 seconds. Bruh. 4 seconds, you cannot be busy. But be that as it may, I said, okay, no problem. She said she'll send him a message. So I messaged him on Indeed and I said, hey, I just reached back out to you. I was met with the receptionist. She stated that you were busy. Can we figure out a solid time so that I know to be stationed in an area where I can speak to you in? Do you know what this guy said? Do not call the office, please. Just like that. I wish I was lying. He literally said, do not call the office, please. Because God forbid someone, a candidate that you're interested in, calls back the same office that you called them off of to their personal phone. That was distasteful to me. I didn't take a liking to that. You can read tone through text messages, for those of y'all who don't know. So I said, you know what? This isn't a job that I would want, because you know what that tells me? That tells me 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, that girl that I spoke with on the phone, that's the girl he's trying to fire. He didn't like that I called and I was met with her. And now that girl is probably wondering, why are they calling? Why is such and such calling about this? Granted, I didn't tell the girl what I was calling from. I just said, hey, can I speak to Dr. So-and-so? He just called. So, yeah, man. So that's what happened. He surely texted me and said, hey, do not. He didn't even start off by saying, please. He said, do not call this office, please. So I politely blocked his number. We do not need to talk, because I don't want to work for anybody, number one, that is undermining like that. You're going to fire this girl. She may or may not deserve it. But needless to say, you're going to fire this girl, and that's why you want me to get in this situation. But you want to be the one to call me. You don't want me to call you back, which is weird. And number two, tone means everything. So if he's talking like that via Indeed over text, imagine how he would be in person. And he happens to be the CEO of that office. So yeah, I just said, no, this isn't the job that I need to be at. Sucks because it's pretty close by my home. And I also want a job where I'm working in healthcare, because it looks great on my resume. I'm going in for nursing. Nursing school is where I'm at. So it will look good when I'm in an interview or a panel interview where they ask me questions and I'll be like, hey, well, I worked here, I worked there, I worked there. And at least 2 of them be some way, shape, or form in healthcare. So I just said no. So I blocked his number, and that's that. So that was very off-putting, and definitely not a company I would want to work for. By the way, their reviews on Google is not good. It's like a 3.8 star. Come on now. How was it a 3.8 star? But needless to say, not a company I want to work for. So I blocked that number, and hopefully I don't speak to them again. So I went to the other interview today. It's another medical facility. Seems good. Of course, you never really know until you work there. I do know that it's going to be busy, but their hours of operation is good. So fingers crossed on that, guys. Fingers crossed. But I want to say this now. Let me stop. If you guys are watching this right now, make sure you like this video. Like this video right now. I don't have time for y'all. Like this video. It costs absolutely no money. It's $0. Like this video. Subscribe to my channel, because I get a lot of good relatable content, if I might say so myself. I do say I'm the shit. If I do say so myself. Hey, if I do say so myself. Hey, let me stop. This channel that you're watching is about everything, y'all, to be honest. I'm back on my fitness journey trying to lose weight. Am losing weight, by the way. I'm down 1.2 pounds. Oh, so I am trying to lose weight. I'm on my fitness journey. I do some videos about food. I do some videos about nursing school, a lot about nursing school, because I am in nursing school and I'm 2 classes away from graduating, which would have been 1 class from graduating, but first time in my nursing career, didn't pass a class. Is what it is. I'm still kind of hurt behind it, so I try not to talk about it. But needless to say, I'm 2 classes away from graduating, and I talk about a little bit of everything, y'all, really and truthfully. I'm also a girl that loves to travel, so you will be seeing a lot of travel videos other than the ones that I already have out. So I need your help. Right now, last time I checked, I am at 335 subscribers, and I owe that to the money I spent. My sister told me about AdSense. AdSense, for those of y'all who don't know, is the payer of Google. So any YouTube content creators, they get paid via AdSense. And she told me about the ads, because I'm like, yeah, when I be watching some videos, I be seeing ads of people from the top of the top to the lowest of the low. And I'm like, how can they get their ads on there? You know? So she led me to a website, and I paid $40. Actually, I paid $40, and they boosted my visibility. It is not bots. It's none of that stuff. I pride myself on organic followers. It is not bots. It is not bots. It is organic followers. What YouTube is simply doing is boosting your visibility. So I paid $40, I think, in the span of 3 or 4 days. And from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., of course, YouTube will boost my videos, because I know my video's not bad, but it's just been getting low views, little to no views. And I've been growing with you guys. You know, you guys been with me since I had my first camera, and I did not have this, and now I have this. So I've just been growing with you guys, got more cameras, better quality, certainly better audio. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of frustrating at times. It's like, dang, well, I've been on this YouTube thing for 1.5 years now. When is it gonna pop off? Because I'm a girl, if y'all don't know, I'm not a 9-to-5 girly. I do not care for corporate America. It's not corporate America per se, but it's corporate America's policies and structures that don't align with my values. And I had to come to terms with this recently. I've been in corporate America since I was 17 years old in 2011. First job at McDonald's, and I got my first dose of why I don't like it. And I've had many, many different jobs since. So none of them have seemed to pan out, even if they were the quote-unquote best jobs for me. It's either I'll get bored, I'll get complacent, or the job will just be unprofessional. It's either one of those 3. So yeah, guys, I'm trying to gain some type of visibility on YouTube, because that's actually something I love to do. I'm a creative, I'm innovative, I'm an Aquarius. I love to create, and I love freedom. I do, guys. I love my freedom. I love as much autonomy as possible. Granted, I'm not going to have 100% control over everything. I'm not even in control of my own life. God has to say so when I'm going to get taken up out of here. I know that's going to be well into my 90s, but nevertheless, I say that to say I am trying to make YouTube content creating my second stream of income. I know it's possible. I know people that have done it, and I deserve to be happy, just like you deserve to be happy who's watching this. Whatever makes you happy, you deserve to go after. You shouldn't have to conform with the norms of the world just because they say that you got to. Like, who says that? Wow, when I graduate with my bachelor's in science and nursing, and I could tell you I'm not going to give up my nursing license. Like, no, I worked too hard for it. However, what I will say is I eventually want to scale down. I eventually want to be part-time with nursing, and I want to have my other stream of income be something I actually love to do. This, content creating or real estate, because I'm thinking about being an Airbnb host, something that will drive up, you know, my revenue. And then, of course, your girl loves to travel. So what you feel don't have to make sense to nobody. Just like some reasons that I gave other people who would listen about why I quit my other job. I'm like, okay, I was hired as an office assistant. One girl was quitting. She gave a 1 week notice, not a 2 week notice. And as a result, I had to replace her for like 2 or 3 weeks as a scheduler. And I absolutely hated it because there are like 6 bosses on top of you, literally 6 bosses on top of you. Too many chiefs, not enough leaders. And then I proceeded to tell them once they got a replacement, they decided to fire him without a replacement, which is ridiculous. Y'all hired somebody, fired him without a replacement, and now I'm being brought in the office to say, hey, Sierra, you're going to have to do what you did before, which is be a scheduler for God knows how long until we find somebody else. After I told them I do not like this position, I was not brought on to be a scheduler or patient care coordinator. I was brought on to be an office assistant. Yes, if somebody calls out 1 or 2 days, I cover them. But that does not equate to literally full on being a patient care coordinator for God knows how long, especially with the people that we had working at that job. So I felt like I was taken advantage of. I felt like I was being played with. So yes, I did quit. But there's some people, they may not say it, but you could look in their eyes, they're like, really? But them same said people, they're only saying that because they wasn't in the situation I was in. Had they worked at that job and seen how many people would have their hands in the pot, asking you, pulling you so many different ways, one person, might I add, they would have pulled their hairs out. They would have pulled their hairs out and quit. I'm telling you. So me personally, I like to reserve my comments. I do have my opinions, but I do sometimes like to reserve my comments because you never know what somebody is going through at their job. And if a person is telling you, you have literally 4 or 5 people that like to pound on one person, one scheduler, and say, hey, did you call this patient? Hey, you need to do these neurospine patients. Hey, you need to do this. When you got that happening enough and them holding you to high standards, 1 day can feel like 1 week. 2 weeks can feel like 2 months. So I don't want to be venturing too far off, guys, but I say all that to say everybody's not going to see your vision. Everybody's not going to understand why you do what you do. It's not for them to understand. As long as you are doing what makes you happy, that is all that matters. Is all that matters. I'm telling you. So that's all that matters to me right now, guys. I got about 6 more months left until I graduate. And I'm trying to work for a company where I can learn a lot, of course, on the healthcare field. And I'm also trying to make my resume look good as well, you know, because it is my life. So if I could do those 2 things, that would be beautiful. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is pretty much it. I took a stop where I'm at right here. I don't know what place this is, but I feel like going to Don Pond, but no, actually it's 3:22. I believe I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go in the gym because I'm still paying for a membership. I'm going to go to the gym, get me a nice workout in, and then I would talk to you guys on my next video. How's that sound? All right. Until next time. Peace.
Let's just take a rewind.